Nationally and internationally renowned ceramicist Gary Hootman has been making and teaching pottery since the early 1980s. A Vietnam War-era veteran, Hootman obtained a welding certificate in 1972 at Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This was followed by a double major bachelor's degree in art and philosophy in 1986 from Cornell College and both a Master of Arts and Master of Fine Arts degrees in ceramics from the University of Iowa in 1989 and 1990. This rich educational background prepared Hootman well for a series of successful exhibitions beginning in the early 1980s. Included in several juried group exhibitions as well as the subject of numerous solo exhibitions, Hootman's ceramics have been exhibited throughout the United States as well as in Belgium, France, South Korea, Australia, and Japan. Not surprisingly, Hootman has been the recipient of numerous awards and commissions. In addition to his success as a ceramicist, Hootman is also in high demand as a kiln builder, a practice he has been involved in since 1984. He is best known for his Anagama wood-fired kilns, which have been constructed across the country and internationally. Wood firing, in Hootman's opinion, is the one thing that ties all of his work together into a successful cohesiveness. Wood firing and Hootman's work cannot be separated. Whether working in sculptural or functional modes, Hootman always strives to reveal the innate nature of the object, that universal quality which speaks to all viewers across the globe.
Now I'm going to trim these bowls. I'm going to start with a Japanese style bowl. And they're trimmed basically all the same. I trim them all by hand. And as you see, this is a deer antler that I shaped. And then I use this for cutting in a deep edge here. I use this for the major cut. And then I switch off sometimes, and I'll show you that later. I have another tool that I use too besides these two. And I tend to throw them so that I only have to go to here. That saves a little time in the trimming part of it. But what's important for me is to show the process of the trimming. And by trimming it this way on this hand and doing it by hand, I'm able to document the turn of the wheel and the process that I'm going through to make this piece. And it completes the process of being handmade and not a mass-produced item. I tend to push in a mark here as a termination point to show the foot where it terminates, like that. I don't try to take all this material off, but I do want a certain height. And I trim these, the clay is still very wet. As you can see, it just peels off very easily. It's extremely wet. This is just stiff enough that I'm able to trim the pot. And now you can see how I'm using the other side of this to trim off this part of it. Looking pretty good. Then I check it to make sure I'm in pretty close proximity. And I look at that and I don't like the height of this. So what I do is I roll these, and that helps flatten it down to the height that I want. And then I go back in. You see that's a little bit thicker than I like it. So then I come through and I trim that off, that excess off. Just make sure that's just exactly where I want it. Something like that. And then I put my stamp on there. And I check it one more time for height. And I like that. I can pick it up easily. My fingers slide underneath. Those are all good. Then I go back through and I do one more final shaping with just a kidney tool. It's a Boughton thing. I've got some, it's just easier to use it. And I try to take out most of the marks inside. Some people use a whisk when they make tea, and so I try to take out all the edges that might come into play with the whisk, where it might destroy the whisk. They're all made out of bamboo. They're not real expensive, but why have something destroyed if you don't have to? As you can see, I got a little dimple there. That's all right. I like to put them in my hands and kind of roll them, get them out of its shape. See how soft that is? Take it out of that roundness, that stiff look like you get. I don't want it stiff. I want it just a little bit, maybe not quite round, a little oblong like that. And then I have a finished piece, except for decoration with slip and my signature.